business to enter services, and if they like, even army. But they are not bound for military service. All Muslims will be bound for that. Whenever they are required, it will be a people's army, just like China and Israel. People will be working, but they are all soldiers, and they are called, and they take the part in the defense of the country or whatsoever it is. They are free to preach their dogma, their religion, their beliefs to their people and their children and their next generation. They can have schools for them only, not the Muslims. They are not allowed to preach their religion to the Muslims. Here you have to note that because the basis of the state is religion, the basis and the foundation of the state can be eroded and corroded if this freedom is given. Now only two places where the non-Muslims will not be able to participate. One is the legislature. It's very logical. That has to be based on Quran and Sunnah, and they neither believe in Quran nor in the Sunnah nor in the Prophet. So only Muslims can go there. The non-Muslims can have their own parliament, consultation body, to fight for their rights, to represent themselves. Oh, okay. But the legislature has to be of Muslims. Number two, the highest positions where the policy is framed of the state. Non-Muslims will not be included there because the basic policy of Islamic State is to propagate Islam throughout the world. Try to establish Islam as a political, socio-economic system over the whole of the globe. That has to be the basic policy of an Islamic State. And it's clear that no non-Muslim will be contributing to this. So these are the only two places. Otherwise, they are free. And then they have to pay tax. Muslims will be paying zakat, an obligatory tax, obligatory charity, 2.5% of all your belongings. But a fixed jizya, we call it, and there is a very bad taste about this word jizya. It is from jaza, the reward, because Islamic State is providing them peace, tranquility, security, just like the concept of taxes. Why do people pay taxes? To make the government able to have peace there, security, defending the country, you need army, you need force. So non-Muslims will pay jizya or tax. And it is a poll tax on every individual. It will be forced. So now, I think I have covered the basic questions regarding Islamic polity. Now I turn to Islamic economic system. Here I have to be more brief. It's a very complicated subject. And I told you in the very beginning, I have not been a student of philosophy or student of economics. But because Quran claims that it is the guidance for whole mankind for all time to come till the end of this world, so it has touched and discussed all these aspects of human life. On that basis, I find myself, having a right to speak on these topics also. I will keep, two reference points. Capitalism and communism. Although communism, it is said it is dead, I think it can be resurrected. It was a reaction to capitalism, and now the capitalism is going much farther, much farther, much farther. And the reaction you saw in Seattle, in Davos, in Washington, this is the reaction to that global capitalism. If Islam doesn't come in this world, this communism in another form, another shape, socialism will come as a reaction. So now these two systems, they are the point of reference. And I don't need to go into details. Private ownership, not only of the articles of use, but also the means of production. A factory, a mill, a farm, anything. Here, on the other side, no private ownership. In the beginning, that was total negation, but then they allowed private ownership of the articles of use. You can own a small house, a bicycle, or a car, and so on, for use, not for production. What was the result? Positive result of capitalism. Personal incentive to work harder. If I earn more, I possess more. Competition. Better production. Free market. No controls. Let the prices be determined by the demand and supply. If the demand is more, supply is less, prices will go high, let them go high. If the demand is more and supply is less, but otherwise it can happen. The authority to hire and fire. So if you want to remain as an employee, you have to work. You have to work. So the production was more. On the other side, no personal incentive. You have to pay wages only, that's all. Why to work harder? Why to produce more? You will not possess more. You will be given the same fixed wage. So no improvement in the quality of production. Quantity, quality both remain back. And that was the fall of communism, the cause of the fall of communism. In the beginning there was an ideological fervor which sustained that economy. But this ideological fervor became diminished and diminished and diminished and diminished. So what happened? The area of wheat growing of Russia was far more than the area of America. But America was exporting wheat and Russia was importing it. But on the other side, the positive point of communism or socialism, not a very wide gap between the haves and the have-nots. There was difference. A foot constable or an ordinary soldier and the commander-in-chief, they couldn't be equal in their salaries. But they say that the most difference maximum was 1 to 30, that's all. And in that system, appalling gulf between the haves and the have-nots. But then, the capitalism had to make a correction. This gulf has to be kept in certain limits. If the poor are hungry,